to join us in the Smokies for a camping trip, beyond all camping trips, to not only see the synchronous fireflies, but to help us install a revegetative wetland project. So let's get started on that. It's called Wet and Wild, and it's multi-zonal because the Smokies straddles two zones, and my zone, which is Zone 8, is contiguous to us, and many of us have second homes there, up in that area. So this is a work day and camping weekend. The Great Smoky Mountains are, it was one of our first parks. Well, not first, but it's located in the eastern U.S. and it's most heavily visited of all of our national parks. I think that's a fact. It's one of the few national parks that does not charge admission, which is interesting. It was dedicated in 1940 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. And it straddles, as I said, two zones. We have Zone 9, Zone 7, and Zone 8 clearly involved and contiguous to the national parks. So we want you to come, and we want everyone to join us if you can. The Blue Ridge Parkway starts right next to this project. It's literally located at the front of the southern entrance of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And it's called the Smokies for a reason. There's smoke. There's fog a lot. It's home to the eastern band of the Cherokee Nation. That's right. The property we're working on is next to their high school at the entrance of the park by the Blue Ridge Parkway. It is wet and wild. There are two bold trout rivers that converge right in our project area. This was taken on Wednesday of last week. Elk breed in the bushy swamp meadows by the project. They surrounded my car. It was pretty amazing. The project is to revegetate with collected genotypic seeds in an area recently cleared of exotics that was primarily privet. If you watch the little yellow arrow, right to the north of it is the Cherokee High School, and I'll give you a better context. The little arrow again, the site is right there. That's the Blue Ridge Parkway. The Cherokee High School Smokemont campground where we'll be camping, the Conalefty Visitor Center where the elk like to roam, and then the southern entrance and the Blue Ridge Parkway entrance. It's all like on the eye of a needle. It's amazing. The site is bushy and it's about 5 acres, and they had a Disney grant for about $15,000 to remove a lot of exotics, and they ran out of money. They didn't have any money to grow plants, and that's where we come in. We're good growers. I'm a horticulturist, I'm a botanist, I'm a landscape architect. All this stuff's fun. My club's great growers. There are many more great growers out there in other clubs. We need your help, and we also need your help to get them installed and get the ideas out and about. This is what they did last year. These are the people in their cute little outfits doing the dibbling. And then this is what it tends to look like. This is called a sedge meadow marshland. I've never grown sedges before. I've never grown rushes.
What are the exotics?
Privet primarily.
Just
yeah. I mean, there are more. I wasn't there in the clearing, but they clearly needed to get rid of it, and there's more to do. The one that's blocked in with green is the type of area we're working in. It's at the top of the marshy, so we're not going to be doing like wading through waist-high water. This is just sort of medium, ankle-deep area, if that. But the seeds were received on December 2nd because we got the MOU done. This was moving very quickly. What did we do? It was like 3 weeks, I think, and we got this thing done because there was an existing MOU, and we just got it sort of fit this project. The seeds came in a Xerox copier cartridge box. I picked it up with my name on it at the visitor center. It was fascinating. Inside it was the swamp rose. These are just raw seeds, folks. Umbrella sedge. Another type. Oh, this is what I did because I separated them into two populations. One that's going to grow under lights and on heat. The other one will grow in cold frames to see which outdoes the others, because this is a project around the Smokies, I think, can continue in perpetuity. I like the idea of helping them forever. Sedge species, isn't it cute? Look like little furry things. And when you separate them, they make millions of seeds. So I really would like to give any of you all who'd like to share with your clubs these seeds. If you're coming, please grow them and bring them. We need the more we can get, the better. Revegetation is the most difficult thing to get done. I know any of you all have done removals. That's easy. It's putting the right stuff back that's so hard. Common alder Dudley's Rush. This is what we've been growing. And I put them in my refrigerator in stratification, which means you get them moist or you don't get them moist. I had to research what each one wanted. And then I put them right next to my wine supply. So they would feel very happy in their new life. So that just started on Sunday morning before I caught or Saturday before I caught the airplane. I have little greenhouse and cold frames on my property in Cashiers, North Carolina. And it's pretty easy to do this stuff if you're set up. I envision having this kind of thing happen, but we're going to use coir mats because if you can put several different plants on one mat and grow them, it's easier to install in the woodland. And there are things like rabbits and deer and geese, and so how do you keep them safe once they've been installed? So this is part of the workshop that we're going to do. What do you do once you've done this, and how do you get it done? There will be a seeds planting June the 10th through 12th. This is right after the June meeting that we'll have in New York. So come on down, bring your backpacks and your tents.
How long is the drive?
There's a very close airport in Asheville. And then we'll have another one in fall to collect more seeds. I really would like to continue doing this forever. We're going to have a speaker named Isla Hattler. She wrote Roadside Rambles, among other things. She's extremely famous and highly regarded on the topic of wild crafting, and she's going to forage with us, and we're going to cook a dinner Saturday night with her goodies. I'll have some other things too, backup food. But she's amazing, and she is a direct descendant of Pocahontas, and she didn't know this till she was later in life. She's very well spoken. We'll meet at noon. We'll set up the project site. We'll hike. We have 2 or 3 guided hikes with what they call the veg crew. This is part speak. The veg crew is going to take us out to see plants. Then we're going to have a field dinner, and the synchronous firefly display will be that night, weather dependent. The next day we'll install the seedling mats. We'll hike another Hardwood Cove area, because I think the seedling mats installation is probably going to take about 3 hours, if that, because we hopefully have a lot of people. And then it's also community. Anyone can come. Field dinner with Isla, and then we'll have more fireflies. And then we'll have, hopefully, the chance on Sunday to go look at future projects. They have at least 4 they've identified from inappropriate or incompatible agricultural uses, like at Cades Cove. There are lots of projects in the Smokies for multi-zonal interests. And then there are many charming cottages right nearby in Cherokee, North Carolina, if you don't want to camp. Or if you have family, you can only stay for a day and you want to bring all that stuff with you, stay in one of these charming, they also have casinos. And it's a green nation, and we use their compost in our work because it's very fine compost. They have 2 types. It's very interesting. It'd be fun just to do a tour of that. This is for your, viewing interest. I love this map of the Smokies. And so where we are, of course, is in this lower, I think this is the right, I hope this is, yeah, we'll be in this lower court where the Cherokee is. See that? That's the Cherokee Indian Nation is right here. And I happen to live just an hour and 15 minutes away. I've recently relocated to North Carolina from my old zone. I'm now non-zonal. In any event, please join us. This is a call to action. I'm going to put one of these invitations